Processes and classes of processes. What's the difference between processes and classes of processes? We have a class of processes, and in configuration, we are going to define the class of processes and set the parameters. This means to set up the attributes for the objects. What we do is to define the model when we define these two things. The model is the pattern or operative frame that the processes need to follow. It must cover all the activities and potential results. Therefore, the class is the model. We create the class, and in settings we define the class and set the parameters. Once the model has been created, we just need to go to execution to create the processes. These processes follow all or some of the activities predefined by the class of processes they belong to. Each process have different activities involved within the class of processes. For example, if we take a look at this example, okay, if we see this image, we can see that the first process has taken this outlet, okay, the cancel one. The second one went to reject, okay, has been rejected. And the third one has been approved, okay? As we have seen, there could be lots of different processes and each one following a different path. In execution, we can use the model and generate the data. Let's have a look now at how to create and identify this class of processes. Firstly, we have to go to Structure, Processes, and then we can name the class and add a key, okay? Which will allow us later to identify the class of processes. Once this has been done, we just have to save it. A class of processes is identified with the class of processes reference that contains the following parts. As you can see, we selected a key here. We can see here that we also have an ID, okay? So we have a key and an ID. We have a version and we have a reference. Let's see what all this refers to. So firstly, we have the key. As we mentioned before, it's a term that allows us to classify the class of processes. It's a 3-character term which have already learned how to create in the dictionary of terms. Then we have the ID. The ID is assigned by the system to this class of processes. It is a unique number that cannot be used for any other class of processes. And version it informs us of the number of versions of the process that there are. Every time another one is created, the number will go up by 1. Okay, so we have this one. If we create another one, then we will have a 2, and so on.